Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we're going to be starting our web development course, and I'm going to be telling you the basic thing and showing you the basic things you need to know for you to be a web developer. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that you need to have your text editor handy. You have different text editors. Okay, you can see them displaying on the screen. You need to get your text editor handy. You need to have your browser ready. Okay, doesn't mean any browser for now. Okay, so the first thing now you step on is you get to your Microsoft Play Store for those using Windows. Okay, I'm going to be dropping the link of downloading the text editor you need to have in the description below. Okay, so now we'll be using Visual Studio Code for the course of this course. Okay, so I'll go to my Microsoft Store and I will type Visual Studio. Okay, you can just see it there. So we're going to be using Visual Studio Code. So I'll click on Visual Studio Code and I'll just go over to install. Okay, now you can see our Visual Studio Code is installed. You can see that it's written here installed. Okay, so now the next thing we'll go over to do is go and look for our Visual Studio Code in our applications. Okay, so we just can nicely close that and we'll go to the Windows button and we'll look for Visual Studio Code. You can just easily type Visual Studio Code, okay? But I just want to look at it, okay? You can see it here, Visual Studio Code is here. So you can launch it or you can just type Visual. After you hit your search button, you can see it here, Visual Studio Code is already installed on your PC, okay? So you just click on it and then wait for it to load, okay? I'm gonna make it this way. Okay, so this is the first interface you're going to see when you open your Visual Studio Code. Okay, you can see it get started with Visual Studio Code. You can just see everything nicely here. Okay, so I'll just close it. You can close the welcome button or you can go over through your welcome button. So you have your text editor ready for the course. Okay, so the next thing you have to do, you have to get is you have to have your browser ready. Okay, you have to get a browser ready. Okay, for me, I can be using Microsoft Edge. Okay, let me close this right now. Okay, might be using Microsoft Edge. You can use Chrome, whichever browser you want to use for your for your program. Okay, whichever browser you want to use to open your codes. Okay, so now for this course, I'll be using my Microsoft Edge. Okay, so I'll be using Microsoft Edge. Okay. Okay, so in this course, I'm going to be walking you through HTML, CSS, and Java basics. Okay, so but in this particular video, we're going to be talking about HTML. Okay, so now we need to know that HTML is the foundation of a web page. Okay, so what is HTML? HTML simply stands for Hypertext Markup Language and is the standard language for creating web pages and web application. Okay, so now first thing we want to do when we open our VS Code is we'll go to our extension file and we'll look for the live server. Okay, so we'll look for a live server and what we'll do here is we'll install the live server. Okay, just install this one and your VS Code. Okay, so while doing that, let's just walk through HTML. Okay, so hypertext refer to the way the web pages are linked together using the hyperlinks. Okay, and the markup language means that HTML uses tag to structure its content. Okay, so now we're going to be walking through the key features of HTML. Okay, so we have the doc type HTML. Okay, so before we go into this video, we just need to create a folder. Okay, I'll be saving all our works in. Okay, so now we'll create a folder. Okay, let's say I create a folder on desktop. Okay, is this desktop? Okay, so this is desktop. Okay, no, let's go to desktop and let's go back to new and let's create for our first class. Our first class. Okay, so we'll have a folder name our first class on desktop. Okay, so now we'll go to file and let's just go over to creating a okay, let's just open a folder. Okay, so we'll open a folder which is on desktop and it's called what, our first class. Okay, our first class. Okay, and this is our first class and we'll select the folder. Okay, so now this is our folder, our first class. Okay, look at it here, and we're going to be creating, look at this by the left hand side. Okay, I'm going to be creating a file in that folder. Okay, so we'll click on new file here and we're going to be naming this file index.html. Okay, so and we'll hit our enter button. Okay, so successfully create an index file. Okay, index.html. Okay, so I'm going to be coming back to index.html. I'm going to be telling you why we created index.html during the course of this video. Okay, but let's just focus on the structures. Okay, so now the first thing you need to do in HTML is that you declare the document as an HTML document. Okay, so now let's say I want to start my HTML. You can just see that my VS Code has given me that, oh, do I want to work on HTML document? You can see that I have this apostrophe doc type. Okay, so when I easily click on it, it will give me my HTML. It will give me my HTML tag, meaning that, okay, it's going to tell me that I'm working on HTML5 right now. Okay, well, basically we have different type of HTML, but in this video we'll be using HTML5. Okay, so when you declare this, it means you are working on HTML5. Okay, so now I've declared that I'm working on HTML right now. So my file is going to be recognized that this is HTML file. Okay, so let's say now if you are working on if when you have a video file is tagged mp4, right? Then I think we'll have different video files and types. Okay, your basically your mp3 is for music, and we'll have lots more, also avi and so many. Okay, now this tag is going to make my text editor recognize that this is an HTML file. Okay, and the web page is going to recognize that, oh, I'm talking about HTML here. Okay, so now the next thing I will do is I will bring my root element of the HTML. Okay, so the root element of the HTML is HTML. You can see that here. I can just click on it, HTML. Okay, you see the root type of the HTML is HTML. So this is going to bring a beginning tag and a close tag. Okay, we can call this is the closing tag, and this is the starting tag. Let's just put that as an instance. Okay, you can see when I hover my mouse around here, it's telling me HTML element represent the root of an HTML document. VS Code is basically telling me everything about HTML right now. You get it? Okay, so let's hover our mouse here. Let's see if this gives us the same thing. Okay, it's not giving us the same thing. Okay, let's just continue. Okay, so now basically everything we'll be doing will be enclosed in this HTML beginning tag and this closing tag. You get it? Okay, so now the next thing we'll get is our head. Okay, remember the HTML tags must be here and the other one must be here. So this is our beginning, this is our ending. So the HTML will start here and will end here. Okay, so the next thing we'll do here is we'll put our head. Okay, our head, and we'll close it. So immediately you close it, it will give you a closing tag also. So everything you'll be doing in the head will be in between this beginning tag and this closing tag. Okay, so the head basically means now when you open your website, you have a header. Okay, let's assume, okay, let me go to, okay, you can see now this is new tab, it's showing here, meaning this is the head of this web page. You get what I'm trying to say now? Okay, this is just what I want to explain here. Okay, so let's go. Now we'll go over to title. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to explain more. Okay, we'll go over to title. So the head basically contains the metadata, the information about the page. You get, like the title and the style. Okay, so we'll go about the title now. Okay, so close the title. Immediately you close it to give you your closing tag also. So you shift it down, and now you notice that the head, the title is inside the head. You can see now is enclosed by the head. You get that? Okay, so the title is basically the title of our page. Okay, so everything concerning the title will be here in between. Okay, so let me just take it back. I can just take it back this way, and I can write my page title. Okay, let's say now remember that I told you that this is the title, this is the head. Okay, so this is where I'm talking about right now. So this is what I'm changing right now, but this is an assumption, you know. Okay, so I'll just go over here. I'll write my, let's say, my first page. Okay, this is our title. my first page. These are page title right now. Okay, now we're done with the head. So we've basically done everything concerning the head. But right now we're not adding styles, we're not doing anything concerning CSS right now. Okay, we're just basically talking about HTML now. So in subsequent time, I'm gonna be showing you how we can style our title and all that. Okay, so now we'll go to our head, we'll go to our main HTML. No, we've left the head, we've already closed the head here, meaning anything we're working here now has ended after the head. Like we're done with the head. Okay, so now let's go over to the body. Okay, the next tag is the body tag. Okay, close the body tag. When you close it, the body will come. So anything we are working on, okay, so let me tell you something about the body tag. So this is the body, like the body of the whole work we're doing now is here. So anything we're doing will be here. Let me go to edge. Okay, this is the body of the web page. You can see everything. This thing I'm scrolling here is basically the body of this web page. You get now. So anything we are doing right now, anything concerning the body of the web page will be in between, will be here, in between this starting tag and this ending tag, between this area here. So everything we're basically doing in our design will be here. So we can't take our design down this place because this is not the body. This is the area of the body. You can see that now, right now. Okay, so let's say our content now will be here. Okay, you get it? So everything, the content that will be visible, there will be here text, images, links, and all that. They will be here. Okay. So we also have important HTML tag. We have so many HTML tags. We have the headings, we have the paragraph, we have the hyperlinks, we have the image, we have the ordered list, the unordered list, we have the span, the inline container, we have the divisions. You get, okay? So there are so many. So like I said, during the course of this video, we're going to be watching them one after the other, okay, as the case may be. Okay, so right now let's just say we have the head. Like I said, let's assume this is the heading of our, okay, this is the menu bar. Okay, let's assume this is, okay, let's assume this is a heading right now. Okay, let's assume this is a heading. Let's assume everything here is a write-up containing stuffs. Okay, so now before we write the heading, we can just, the heading tag for heading is H. Okay, so we have from H1 to H6, which is differentiating between, don't worry, we're going to talk about the headers later. Okay, which is differentiating between how you want the size of your heading to be. Okay, H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. Okay, let's go with H1 for this video. Okay, when I click on H1 now, okay, and I have a opening and a closing tag. So let's write, sorry, let's write now heading to be, this is my heading. Okay, don't worry, I know most of you want a practical example of this. Okay, let's just run this. This is heading. Okay, this is my heading. Let's go over to run on your Visual Studio Code. You go to run, you go to start debugging. Let's check if there's error in our code, and if there's no error, to launch. Okay, for the course of the video, I told you I will be using Edge, Microsoft Edge, so you can select your own preferred browser. You can use Chrome, but you can use Edge. I prefer Microsoft Edge. Okay, right now, so it's going to run and debug and run it. You can see right now. Now you can see that the header has my first page, which is here. My first page, the title, the head, the title has my first page. This is the title here, and you can see the heading here. This is my heading. You can see this is H1. We used H1. Okay, let's proceed to using H2 right now. Okay, so I'll just copy this code. I can just paste it down here. I can just change H1 to H2, and I'll come to the closing tag. I'll change to H2 and I will save it. Okay, I can just do that to the rest. I'll copy it and just bring it down until I get to H6. Okay, so I think it's up to 6 right now. Okay, so I'm going to put in 3 here, 4 here. Okay, it's 5 right now. Okay, 5. So you as well do it to the closing tag, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's get our last one running. Okay, 6. I think I told you we have 6. We have 6 headings. Okay, we have 6 headings in HTML from H1 to H6. Okay, so right now I'm going to save it. Now right now I'll go to my browser and I will reload it. You can see that my headings are now in different sizes. You can see this H1 is bigger than this H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Okay, I told you H6 is the smallest heading we have in HTML. Okay, so now we have from the first header to the last header, which is H1 to H6. Okay, so let's continue with our coding. Okay, I'll just leave this here. Let's just keep going. And during the course of the video, I'm going to be removing this most of the tag will not be needed. Okay, let's go back to the paragraph. Okay, we also have the paragraph tag, which is P. Okay, so I'll be displaying. I have the content of this video in PDF format in the description below. Also, you can go through over it after the video, or you can be following through while the video is going on. Okay, so P is the paragraph tag in HTML. Okay, so this is P. You can see P here, and I can just put, okay, I can just write this is paragraph. Okay, this is a paragraph. Okay, I think these are spelled. Okay, this is a paragraph that I created. Okay, so you can just say this is a paragraph I created for the paragraph tag. The paragraph tag is always P. Okay, so let's save and see how it's okay. You can just reload here and you can see this is a paragraph. You can see now it's actually different from every other styles here. Okay, so don't worry about the format of the screen. Don't worry about the style. We're going to be styling later. Okay, so let's go. So now we'll go over to the link. Okay, we have the hyperlink. The hyperlink. Okay, the hyperlink is represented by A. Okay, so when you have a close tag and open tag, you know that there's a link there. Okay, so basically, when you are writing your codes, you make sure your code is being justified. Okay, by justification I mean you arrange it very well so that you can be able to read through and get to know where your errors are from, and get other programmers to also understand your code. You get it? Okay, so this is the hyperlink. Okay, so in the hyperlink, okay, the opening tag is where your link goes in the hyperlink. The opening tag is where your link goes in. When I mean your link, we have so many links, like let's assume for example www.google.com, and that is a link. www.tbd.com, www.wapking.com, and so many. So basically a web page must always have a link that enables it to open. I don't know. Okay, so let's go. Now we have the when you after you open your hyperlink tag, okay, you go over to, oh, sorry for that. Okay, sorry. This means you want to put in a link here. Okay, so now we have the ref. I used to call it ref. I don't know. Now immediately you write it. My VS Code is actually completing it for me. You get it? So I advise you use VS Code. It makes your code work faster. Let's say you can't just get to put all the numerous code in your head, but if you can start the code, sure, it's gonna give it to you. I think that's powered by Emmet. I think so, Emmet. Okay, so right now let's go over it. So you put in this open what's it called? This opening here. Okay, you're gonna be writing your link on it. This open quotation here. Okay, let's assume we want to write a link HTTP. Okay, let's say we'll be using google.com. Okay, google.com. Okay, and that's our link. And now this link here would not be showing outside this tag. What I mean is that, okay, what I mean is, let me just go over it right now. This is a link. Okay, let's put our class. Visit our class. Okay, visit our class. Okay, so now this is what will be showing. So it means that this link here is embedded in visit our class. Okay, let me just save it and show you a practical example of what I'm talking about. I will just reload this page. You can see visit our class is here. It's showing as a link. That's why this blue link is here. So when I go over to clicking it, it's going to open google.com because I already embed google.com in the link of visit our class. Do you get that? I already embed it here. Okay. So it will redirect us to google.com. So we can go back to our and just click on go back to our page. Okay. Now this is it. We have our link here. So you can write as so many, you can embed as so many links as you want here. It doesn't really mean you can just go over to writing any link here. So, but for the course of this video, we'll be using google.com. Okay, so this visit our class. So when you click it, it will take you to our class, which is Google. You get it? Okay. So right now we'll be going to back to the image tag. Okay, the image tag will not necessarily be used right now. I'm going to be giving you because we don't have an image in our folder right now. Remember, everything we are doing is inside the folder we created on desktop. Okay, remember we created the folder here. You can see when we open the folder, you can see the index file we created right now in the text editor is already here. Okay, so remember that for an image to open, okay, before that, let's go to the image tag. The image tag is usually img. Okay, I will close it. And the image tag does not have a closing tag like the others. I don't know if you get that. You know, when we're talking about the hyperlink, the paragraph, the heading, we have a starting tag, the beginning tag, and the closing tag, the open tag and the closing tag. You can see them. But in the case of the image tag does not have a closing tag. It's just an opening tag. It's just an opening tag. IMG. That's just image tag. Okay. So it does not have it does not have a closing tag. Okay. So when you write the IMG, we have the SCR. Okay. The SRC. I mean, sorry, SRC. We have the SRC. The SRC means your source, the source of your image. So where is the source of our image coming from? Okay, you get what I'm trying to say now. So I just majorly tag it as source SRC. I don't know, but I feel it's source. Okay, so after then you put your equal to, immediately you put your equal to, my VS Code is going to read that, okay, this guy is wanting to put an image to this link. Okay, and my quotation marks is going to come up. Okay, so now if you are using other text editor like brackets and atom and so many that you don't have Emmet installed on it, you basically need to be writing your codes. Okay, so now in between these socks, you're going to be writing where do you want your image to be loading from. Okay, the source of the image. Like you can see that in this link, in this hyperlink, you can see in between these quotations, we write where we want to look we want to link our visit our class to. See it here, which is Google. So here we want to know where we want to pick up our image file from. Okay, so in this video, this image file is going to be looking only to the folder we created, only in this folder. So our code is only looking here, is not directing its attention from this folder. So basically, this folder is our website. Okay, basically this is our host. Okay, let's say basically this folder is our host right now. Let's just assume later on we'll be talking about hostings. Okay, so basically this is our hosting right now. So everything we are doing is looking into this our first class folder. Okay, so right now if you want an image to be displayed, the image need to be in this our first class folder. I don't know if you understand. So our code is not looking outside this folder because our code is working within the folder. You get it? So our code cannot look outside our first class folder. So right now we can easily just drop an image here. Okay, let me just drop an image for proper understanding. So I'll just go over to, if I have image on this PC. Okay. I'll just go over if I will see an image. Okay, okay, let's assume this is our image. Okay, so I'll just copy this image right now, or better still, let me use my own image. Okay, I guess this is one of my image. Okay, so I'm going to be copying this image and I'm going to be pasting it here. Okay, so now this is my image. So before I'm going to put my image, I'm going to check the extension of my image type. I mean, so let me just quickly rename my image to think to a more readable image. Let me rename it to image. So my image is name image right now. Okay, so I'm going to be checking the image type. You can see the image type is PNG. It's showing here image type is PNG file. Okay, so this is the PNG file. Okay, let's go over to our code right now. So remember, the source is looking to our first class folder. Okay, so I'm going to just write in image dot png. Remember, our image is in is a png type image. Okay, so that's why I'm putting png. So for jpeg file you put .jpeg and so on and so forth. Okay, so now I'm going to be putting my alternate. Okay, my alternate file. Okay, so the alternate means if my image is not found, please display this right up here. I don't know if you get it. If my image is not found, this is supposed to come up. Okay, so if my image is not found, I will write I'll just write profile picture, profile picture. So this means if my image is not found here, if this code look onto the my first class folder and my image is not found, it's going to be displaying profile picture there. Okay, let's just save and check what I'm trying to get. Okay, so I'll just remove my page. You can see my image came up here. Okay, you can see my image is already here. So don't worry, we'll be during the course of this class, I'll be telling you how to reduce images, increase it, and give it your own touch. Okay, so now you can see. Okay, let me assume my I change it to images, which is not in our folder. Okay, I'll save it and I'll go over to the web page. I will reload it. Now the image is not found because I gave it a wrong name. You can see now that the image is writing profile picture, which means I told you that if this image is not found, alternate to this, you just write profile picture there. So it means that this image could not be loaded, but it's a profile picture that's supposed to be there. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? Okay, so let's go over to our code and let's continue. Okay, so I'll bring it back. Okay, and now let's proceed. We have our unordered list and our ordered list. Okay, so when you if you are used to Microsoft, you have list when you want to list items like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you arrange it in an orderly manner. So we have the unordered list item and we have the ordered list item. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay, so now the unordered list tag is usually UL. Okay, so basically let's just put something there. Okay, so now when you get your unordered list, it will give you an opening and a closing tag. But before you write your list will be given by li. Okay, meaning you want to write a list of something. Okay, let's write li. Let's write html. Let's go over to the next list. Before you write the next list, you put your li tag, which is the list tag. Write css, and let's go li again. You write Java, and let's click on save and see what our outcome is. Okay, so when we reload it, we go down, we'll see our list here. Okay, let me just remove this image for now. Let me just rename the image for now because okay, you can see now. See, look at our list. You have bullet, HTML bullet, CSS bullet, Java. You get what I'm trying to say now? It's arranged in an orderly manner. Okay, although this is our unordered list. Okay, so right now let's check the difference. Okay, so I'll just copy this, I'll just take it down. Remember, we're working within our body. This is our closing tag. We are still within our body. Okay, so just duplicate it and I will change it to O, which is ordered list. Remember, U is on ordered list, so I'll just use it right now and I'll click on save. I'll go to our web page to see how it is. You can see our ordered list gave us a bullet, but our ordered list arranged it very well. We see number one HTML, number two CSS, number three Java. You get it? So an ordered list does not really matters, does not really give you this is the first one, this is the second one, does not really give you the list of the item. But the ordered list give you the practical list of it, one, two, three. So as many lists you want to add to it, our ordered list is going to give you to you back. Okay. About our div and spam elements. Okay, let's go over to our comments. Okay, so in HTML we have comments. So the comment basically work like this. You write a comment to refer to a piece of code. Maybe other programmers want to go through your code and you can give them hints on what the code is all about. Okay, so the comment is always like this. Okay, we'll bring our angle bracket, our open angle bracket, put our apostrophe here, and okay, and it's up. You see now? Okay, so we can either comment here, we can write this this heading was done by me. Basically, this comment does not show up in um, our web page. Okay, so we can save and let's go back to our web page and let's reload now. After reloading, you can see that that statement is not here. Okay, it's not found anywhere here. Okay, so let's go over to the next thing here. Okay, so the next thing here, we can give our header a double header, meaning okay, we can either have two headings. Okay, let's copy this and let's bring this here and let's bring this one, let's turn this first one to just heading. Okay, with caps headings and we'll save. Let's go to our web page and reload. You can see headings, but we want to differentiate between, want to draw a line here that will differentiate between the heading and the other ones. Okay, so now we'll go here and we'll bring up our HR element, okay, which is here HR elements and the horizontal role. Okay, we'll bring our open and we'll put it on our H arrow and we'll close it. So the H arrow basically does not have a closing tag. So we'll save and let's see what's happened to our page. You can see there's an horizontal line already here. So it's differentiated between this heading and these other headings. Okay, so we can go through that also with other elements. We also have the break elements. Okay, so the break, these are the break elements works. You open our okay, let's save and let's check it out. You can see there's a space here between this heading and this other heading. It's because of our break element. Okay, so the break element usually give a huge space between element and text. Okay, okay, let's move on to our hyperlinks. Okay, so in these hyperlinks, I want to throw more light on the hyperlink. Okay, so in hyperlink, we also have what they call targets in hyperlink. Okay, so we put our target here. If you see now, let's go to our web page. If we load this visitor class, it keeps loading in our, it did not open a new tab, it loads in the current tab. Okay, so we want to make this our link open in a new tab, so we'll just go over to our hyperlink here and we write target, we put our equal to and we write underscore blank. We'll save it and let's go back and see what that does. So we'll reload our page and when we click on our page, it opens a new tab. So that's what basically that does for us. Okay, and we also have the title, so we can also put the title there. Title equals to, we'll put when we open. Okay, so this is our title. So when we hover our mouse around, when we reload and hover our mouse around visit our class, we can see when we open showing there. Okay, so that's what our title does for us. We can also put title in our images also, such that when we hover our mouse around the images, it's going to give us our title. Okay, let's put title here. Let's set it to my picture and we save. Then we go to our web page, reload, and then when we hover it around this profile picture, you can see my picture displaying there. Okay, now let's move on to adding audio elements to our web page. Okay, so adding audio elements is pretty simple. Now we just go to our audio tag, audio, and then we're going to put in our source src, and we'll bring in the source of our audio. Okay, let's say our audio is on our class folder. I'm going to put maybe music 1.mp3. Let's say it's an mp3 file, and then let's close our audio tag. But before then, let's add controls to our audio. Okay, so we're going to add control and controls. This is going to set our audio, it's going to give our audio control. So let's click on save and let's go to our web page and let's reload. Now there's an audio here, but we basically don't have an audio. You can see controls here. The controls are perfectly nicely placed here. Okay, let's assume we'll add an audio to our folder. Okay, let's open our folder now. Okay, where's our folder? Okay, this is our folder. Let's look for our audio. I think I have an audio saved in videos, I guess. Okay, so these are music, and we load it here, and our file is mp3 file. So when we go to VS Code and save and go to our web page, we reload, it's gonna play our audio file. If we click on play, you see it's giving us a playback of our audio. You get? So we're going to be doing this also to our video files. Okay, it's always the same thing when you want to upload the video file. So video tag, type video, and remember to put your controls. It's very necessary. And you put your source of our video to, let's say, video 1. It depends on the name of your video actually. So I prefer just naming my video like this, just for the course of this video. So I'll close my tag and I'll click on save. So now we're going to be reloading our page, and you can see our video element is here. Although we don't have a video here to play, but let's import one. So I'll go to my videos, I'll click on this video, and I'll go to my class, I'll paste the video there, I'll go to my VS, save it, go to my page, I'll reload it, and my video, I think my video should be here now, but I think my video file is not MP4. Okay, so let me check what's wrong there. I'll go to my video. The video is an MP4 file. Okay, there's a space between the 1 and the O. So I'm going to close the space. I'll save it again. I'll go over to my VS, go to my web page, and I'll reload. And you can see my video is here, although the video height is too much. I can also reduce my height, my width in my video. Okay, so I'll go to my video control. I'll come here. I can simply set my video to, let's say, width. Let's say width. Let's set our width to, let's say, 200, and let's see width 200. Let's see what that gives us. Let's reload. You can see we're controlling the size of our video. We can also go back and reduce it. Let's say width 100. Let's save and go back. Let's reload our page, and you can see our video is here. So we can play our video right now. If you want to play it, you can play it. If you want to download it, you can download it. So you can just play it. You see, our video is playing and we can pause it. This is because we set controls to our video element. Okay, so this is how the video works. Also, our picture, we can also set the height of our picture. Also, the other one we did the other time. Okay, let's say image right now, and let's set the height of our image to, let's say, height. Let's set our height to, I think that's okay. It's not correct. Let's set our height to 50 and let's save. Let's go back to our page and you see our picture is here and it's 50 height. Okay, so let's go back to, let's set it to, let's say 100. Let's say 100 and we save. Let's go back, reload. Our image is now here. You see now, so we can control our elements differently based on what we actually want. Okay, so this is just a prototype of how tags works in HTML. Okay, so I think the next thing we need to do is that we can also set our image as a link also. So to do that, we just go to our image, you just create a link element between our image tag. So we just create a link element, we'll move the close tag, we'll cut it from here and we'll close it here. So we can just put our ref here and we'll set it to what when we click the image, what's like the link we want the image to take us to. We can actually put it there. Okay, let's say when we click the image, we want it to take us to google.com also. So let's just put Google just for the course of this video. Okay, google.com and let's save it. And let's go back to our page, reload. And if we click our image now, it's going to be taking us to google.com. So that's how it basically works. So if we click visit our class, take us to google.com. Remember, this page is actually opening a new tab because we set it to blank. Okay, and if we click our image, to also take us to Google, but in same page. Okay, so now let's go back and let's go through all this again. I think the next thing we need to check here is we need to check description list. Okay, let's go to our list. Here's our list elements. I think we created one list element. Okay, these are list element. So we also have description list. Okay, we have another list, other list, and we have description list. Okay, let's add description list to this list. I think. Okay, so description list is always say, let's say DL. Okay, so DL. Let's click on DL. Let's try it, and we'll close it. And then description, let's set our description to DT. Okay, description. Let's say we want to talk about HTML. Okay, HTML, and what do we want to write about HTML? It's going to be the data on it, DD. Okay, description data is going to be HTML is a very nice course. Okay, and let's save it. Let's go to our web browser and let's reload. So you can see that, look at our description here. HTML, you can see what HTML explains here. HTML is a very nice course. Okay, you can see that. So we can add different descriptions depending on what we want to work on. Okay, so now let's assume we want to create a table. Okay, we want to create a table. So let's move on to the table tag. Okay, so the table tag is always table. I mean table, like table, Table. That's just a table tag. So everything we're going to be doing here will be in table, the tabular form. I mean, okay. So let's say we want to create a table row. Okay, we want to create a table row. So T arrow is table row, short for table row, and we want inside our role we want table data. Okay, which is the th. Okay, what do you want to be in our row? Okay, so let's say Sunday, or let's let's give it January, and let's just copy this and let's get February. Okay, I'll abbreviate this to make the video fast. Okay, and I think this is okay. So we'll save it and let's see what it gives to us here. You can see now that we have a table January, February, March. Okay, I'm sorry if you are not seeing this very clearly right now. Okay, so let me just bring it up to, let me copy the table tags here. Let me cut it and bring it up to this heading so that we can see it very clearly. Okay, so save it. Let's go up to our page. Okay, can be seeing the table here. Okay, let's assume this is our table now. Okay, don't worry about the height and everything. Don't worry, everything's gonna come up nicely. Okay, so let's go now to, we have our tables. Let's say we want to set our table, um we set our table row, want to set the second row. Okay, so let's just copy this now and go over to the second one. But in this case, we're going to be putting our data into the row which is TD. Okay, so remember the first one is January, so, and second one is February, March, April. Okay, now let's assume January has 31 days. Let's say 31, February 29, March 31, April 30, and let's save it. Okay, so when we go back to our web page, we reload it, you can see January has 31, February has 29, March 31, April 30. You can see that nicely in a tabular form, but just that we don't have border yet, but let that not be our problem right now. Okay, let's move on to our table width. Okay, let's start table width. So let's say we want to set our width to 100. So in each table we set it to width. Okay, set it to 100. Let's say 100. We just copy this and we're gonna paste it everywhere. Okay, and let's save. Let's go back to our web page, press reload, and you can see we have spaces now in between. Okay, so let's go on. Let's carry on. Now let's say we want to set our width to our table to, how many hundreds are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we'll set our table to 400 width. Okay, so let's say width is equal to 400, and let's say we want to align our text to center. Okay, because you can see now that our text is not aligned to the center of the table, so we just go to our align, and put center. Okay, so save and we go back to our web page, then we reload. We can see that our text is now centralized in the table. Okay, so now we can quickly add our table color. Okay, can add our table color. Let's say we want to add the table color, background color. Let's say we want to add background color. Okay, to do that, we write bg color. Okay, we set it to equal to, let's say, black. Let's say black, and the table role, let's say we want to set the background color of our table role, bg color. Let's say we want to, okay, I think this is wrong, it's supposed to be bg. Okay, bg color, want to set it to, let's say, gray, and let's work on this also. Let's set our background color for this, bg color, let's say gray also, but let's say light gray. Let's say light gray, and let's save and let's see what we got here. Okay, you can see now we have added colors and our table is nicely placed. Okay, so during the course of this video, we'll be checking more elements, and our next class now we're going to be talking about the CSS, how we're going to be adding our colors and how we're going to be navigating through each colors and adding JavaScript to our web page. Also, in that video, we're going to be talking about this div element and the span element, which we've not discussed here. Basically, we'll be needing this div element and the span element in the CSS class. So I want to keep that to our next class. Okay, so you can just walk through this video and go through the classes, try them yourself, try new things, and I'll see you in our next video. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a like.